Betty Ann, she had something about her that's very similar to Rose. To me, in my mind, growing up, Betty Ann and Rose should have been sisters, should have been from the same family. And Betty Ann was also similar to, I think, in character and in sentiment with Rose's mom, Muncie. We used to, because we grew up close with the Luceros, so Rosella, Pete is his real name, Butch, and then Jimmy, and then us, Padillas, Betty Ann, Lil, myself, and then Richard. We did a lot of stuff together. We did a lot of, hanging out and just going on different adventures and stuff like that. Well, our parents would get together and they would just sit and talk, and Auntie Muncie was a great cook. She was a great cook. And so they would cook up these meals, and we'd stay there all day and late into the night, and but they would get together and they would start reminiscing about stuff, and they start crying. Yeah. They just sit there and start talking, and they just start crying. And as kids, we used to just thought that was just like this, the weirdest thing. They would just start talking, and they would bring up some of their siblings. Like I said, I only met a couple of my uncles, and there were 13 siblings. So I only met one aunt, from my dad's side. Well, they would start reminiscing. They all start crying. Then they would get up and they would hug. And pat each other and hug and cry together, and then they would back up and start laughing about it, and then they'd move on. Well, guess what? Guess what we do now? I can start talking to. I can start talking to.
You're cutting some onions in there.
I can start talking to Lil or whatever, and we, or to Rose. And there's not that many of us left anymore,
That's why
and we do the same thing, man. Yeah. We like, oh my God,